what's happening in crypto with these hearings and what else is out there in the cryptosphere.
So I think that it's time at Binance to be able to say, you know what, we're going to comply with what Gary Gensler says. Same thing with Tether. And then you'll know that we're legit.
The CEOs of Binance and Crypto.com have tried to distinguish their own business practices from what happened at FTX following charges that the now bankrupt crypto exchange illegally used customer deposits for years.
So he's
CZ.
we call him all the time. Look, he has been talking about how everything's fine there, but a lot of his tweets read very similarly to what Sam Bankman-fried was tweeting in the days leading up to the bankruptcy there. Now, that's not to say that Binance is anything like what was happening at FTX, but we don't know because these aren't regulated entities.
And Binance is under the spotlight after temporarily halting withdrawals of the stablecoin USDC. Now, given the painful memories of Bankman-Fried's deception, it's easy to understand the fear. There are many issues about trust, credibility, and integrity in this space. But now, the question arises, do you think that your funds are safe with Binance? Can Binance be the next in line after FTX? In this video, we'll take a look at what Binance CEO Changpeng Zhao thinks about all these fears and doubts. In a recent interview with CNBC, he explained a bunch of stuff regarding Binance, FTX, USDC withdrawal, and crypto in general. So, let's get into the video for more details. And if you haven't joined our community, be sure to hit that subscribe and bell icon.
The well-run crypto exchanges should hold user assets one-to-one. So user deposit Bitcoin, we hold it in Bitcoin, we move to a cold wallet, we keep some in the hot wallet. And people, they sell it, now the Bitcoin belongs to somebody else, but we still hold it in the cold storage. People can withdraw 100% of the assets they have on Binance. We will not have an issue in any given day. So 100% of the users withdraw 100% of the assets, we'll be fine. This is very different for traditional financial people to understand because banks run on fractional reserves. And the traditional regulators, many of them may think that it's okay for crypto businesses to be running on fractional reserves. That is not okay. In crypto, there's no central bank printing money to bail out banks when there's a liquidity crunch. So crypto businesses have to hold user assets one-to-one. And that's what we do. It's very simple.
The collapse of FTX has added a new layer of skepticism to the crypto space and concerns over safety of customer assets. But CZ sought to ease crypto investors' worries about the exchange's liquidity by emphasizing Binance's commitment to honoring any customer withdrawals. In his words, quote, people can withdraw 100% of the assets they have on Binance, end quote. But concerns about Binance are growing, and customers are withdrawing funds from the exchange at a high rate. In the 24-hour period leading up to Tuesday, $3 billion in net withdrawals flowed out of Binance, according to blockchain analytics firm Nansen. Let's get into the next clip to find out how CZ thinks Binance is different from FTX.
I didn't do the due diligence myself, but I think it will be very, very clear that Sam knows that he was using the user funds to do trading for Alameda, and he has been probably doing this for quite a while that nobody else knew until very recently. Well, a small number of people in FTX probably knew, but most of the other normal employees probably did not know. I think that's probably the most likely situation. I think we are very concerned about anybody using the token they create for leverage, as a collateral. At Binance, we don't do that. We don't use BNB as collateral for anything we do.
According to CZ, the crypto sector has been down following the collapse of FTX in November. Well, we know that SBF was commingling funds, using funds to leverage himself. Bankman-Fried was indicted in the United States on 8 criminal charges, including wire fraud and conspiracy. Recent headlines have focused the market's worries squarely on Binance. So, why should people trust that their money is safe at this point? In terms of the credibility of Binance, how much leverage and liabilities are in the Binance system? How is Binance different from FTX? Can Binance be the next in line after the FTX fall? We'll see that in the next clip. But before jumping ahead, be sure to like and share.
But audits don't reveal every problem. So
no, but an audit from a Big Four auditor would reveal that, CZ. If you could get a Big Four auditor to say that, if you're saying that some of them don't want to work with you, that raises questions too. They don't want to work with you because you don't have the files and the data that would make them feel comfortable signing off and giving that stamp of approval?
Actually, many of them don't even know how to audit crypto exchanges. They don't really when they audit, they're very used to auditing a firm. So we are working with firms to do the audit the financials, liabilities, etc. Very simply, Binance does not owe people money. Binance does not have loans from other companies, from other funds. We just don't have it. You can ask any fund in the ecosystem. You can ask any VC. We actually also do not have VC investments, so we don't owe anybody any money. And we also do not have loans to other people that we depend on for our next payroll. So we are very simple, very self-contained type of organization, and we manage our cash very simply. So that's very, very different from the FTX situation, where so people who are hurt by FTX are now worried about everybody else, and they were defending FTX before. But that's why they have money on FTX. So, but just because they're bitten by one snake doesn't mean that every other animal is the same.
Zhao has commented that it's harder to present liabilities and asserted that Binance doesn't owe loans to anyone. In a recent tweet, he replied to a Willy Woo tweet saying, quote, "We don't owe loans to anyone. You can ask around," end quote. But as you can see, Binance's business is also under scrutiny after FTX's spectacular implosion. But CZ believes that just because you can get hurt by one bank, that doesn't mean all other banks are bad too. In the next clip, CZ explains the case of USDC. So, if you're interested to know more details about the situation, let's hear him out.
We do the conversion. We have channels to convert them one-to-one. But the channels we have actually have to go through a bank, because to convert from BUSD to USDC, we have to sell BUSD into US dollars, cash in a bank, move it to a different bank account, and then buy USDC at a different institution. So that day, we had more users trying to buy or trying to deposit BUSD and withdrawing USDC. And we ran out of that. And the bank that does the conversion doesn't open until 6 hours later. And that's a bank in New York. So we were actually blocked. This issue was actually caused by a bank. So that's what, and stablecoin is the only one we convert. Every other asset, people deposit Bitcoin, we hold Bitcoin. People deposit Ethereum, we hold Ethereum. Right. So we have the assets to convert. So there's no margin, no leverage. We just needed the bank to open. So the bank opened 6 hours later, it was fine. So banks don't work for 24 hours a day. Banks only work for a few hours a day. And when the banks are shut down, when banks are closed, you try to withdraw money, it doesn't work. That's exactly the same situation that happened. And we allowed people to withdraw other stable coins onto other platforms to do conversion if they want. So there was not a liquidity issue. It was just there was a conversion issue that was going through the bank.
So what are your thoughts on the Binance exchange? Do you think he's hiding a bunch of stuff? Are your funds safe? Could they have taken any of the clients' funds and done anything with them? Is Binance in trouble after FTX? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. For more updates on the crypto market, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in my next video. Adios, and thanks for watching.